Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About Live Shopping, a series dedicated to unraveling the intricacies, and we know there are many, of the live shopping phenomenon. I'm your host, Cynthia Nelson, video commerce expert, three-time entrepreneur, Ford's contributor, investor, and advisor. Today, we're talking to Joel Leonoff, CEO of Revo Video. Good morning, Joel, and thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Cynthia. Good morning to you too.
Good morning. Hey, first question. I always want to hear the founder's story. What was the inspiration behind starting Revo Video? How did this really come about? There's got to be a great story here.
I don't know if it's great, but it's a good story. We'll see if it's great or not. I think the evolution or the early conversations about getting into video streaming and looking to find a solution for a marketplace really evolved out of a conversation with a company that was in the direct sales and MLM world. So I think that they were kind of a home party type of business. There are a lot of them out there that have a network of consultants that sell product primarily through their personal networks. A lot of home party companies like Avon and Tupperware and groups like that are used to that type of I guess method of selling product through through part-time or sometimes full-time consultants. And I think with COVID, it kind of brought an abrupt halt to that whole industry, where the home party solution just kind of fell off a cliff and kind of went to zero very quickly as people were either mandated or fearful of I guess assembling with a lot of people. And the industry in general had to really react and say, well, we have, I guess a huge network of people that love our product and have been selling it to their kind of network. And all of a sudden, the opportunity to host home parties kind of went to zero. So the discussions were really about early on about how do we offer some type of digital, some type of internet related solution that can provide the benefits and opportunities without necessarily having to assemble in somebody's home. And that gave birth to ultimately I guess Revo, and our first iteration was building I guess an online party, I would say is kind of the best way to kind of explain it. It's a streaming representation of a party where a host can invite their contacts, bring them all in, and then provide, I'd say typically a 20 to 30-minute session talking about the products, maybe bringing in some guest speakers, and ultimately selling the products through that type of medium. A lot like I kind of compare it to a QVC kind of home shopping network online, with a lot of bells and whistles. We certainly focused on direct sales and MLM to try and make it a better fit. We actually created a division of Revo called StreamStyle, which is really oriented at specifically direct sales and MLM. And coming from background in online payments, we tightly integrated the ability to pay for products online within the within the session, within the stream, and provide those type of tools for I guess for the hostesses and hosts to be able to market, promote, and talk about their product. It's engaging, it's entertaining, it's educational, it's digital, it's video. So the tools are quite strong, and that's kind of where we started. And then as it evolved over time, we kind of got a sense that there were other products that I think that the industry certainly was looking to kind of integrate. So we built what I would call a shoppable video, which is more of a 1-minute video that a sales rep consultant can kind of create on the fly or planned, and talking about a product. Hey, check out my new earrings, et cetera, et cetera. They're this, they're that, and basically use that tool and promote it through their social networks. And again, have that shoppable video be shoppable, meaning within the video itself, there's a catalog of the products that they're talking about, ability to click and fill up a shopping cart and check out with kind of one-click checkout, which is very fast. So we put those tools together for the I guess for the industry. There's a third product that's more of a one-on-one session, kind of like a Zoom session, but it has a catalog and an ability for someone to moderate, I guess, a one-on-one call, and then ultimately help somebody fill their shopping cart in and check out. With all three products have all types of tools where you can offer a on-the-spot discount. Hey, if you buy within the next 20 minutes, we'll give you an additional 20% off. It's today only type of thing. But those were the tools I think that the industry was kind of craving for in a very kind of urgent need and attempt to pivot and find a way to continue selling product in a world that was moving more online and less oriented to home parties. And I think that change, I don't think there's any going back, meaning the industry
Yeah.
is not necessarily returning to the home party. I think that ship may have sailed to a certain degree. There may be some that are still trying to hang on, but the introduction of tools like Revo and StreamStyle are really opportunistic. And the reps themselves that are selling, they love the shoppable video. They create them easily. You can do it in minutes and proliferate it. It's fun, and I think that it's a great way to stay in touch with your base and keep them kind of informed and keep them close to you. So that's kind of the origins of how it all kind of began, more or less.
Yeah, it's super interesting on the direct selling side, right? Because I haven't seen a lot of companies. I've been interviewing all these, CEOs of these, big kind of live and VOD shopping platforms around the world. And not very many of them have focused on the direct selling industry, which for whatever reason, but it is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like, no doubt. I mean, I know Avon has 1 million reps just in Brazil. It's not a
Yeah.
small it's not a small industry at all. I think people probably forget that those were the original, frankly, influencers.
Yeah, 100%. It's I think for us, we had some ties into the industry, and we certainly leveraged our ability to, I guess, develop products in conjunction with one major call it direct sales business that helped us kind of make it more relevant for the industry. So I think a lot of companies that are providing streaming type services were focusing on, call it, the influencer community and individuals that have pretty significant followings that were looking for tools. There were products out there, through Instagram and other social media products but more expensive and not not really economically viable in my opinion. So I guess the relationships that we had kind of pushed us in that direction, and it just seemed intuitively smart.
Yeah.
And we've built a lot of hooks and integrations to products that the industry uses. So very relevant, I think, is the right word that I would use for direct sales and MLM.
I mean, that's a beachhead that I don't think anybody has really cracked, at least at this point, at scale. So congratulations, on that. I mean, it's a big one to crack, but if you can do it, it's great for the company.
Yeah,
And the fact that
we were
you've had
lucky. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say the fact that you've had a company to work with that has consultants. I've seen the other side of this where it's just tech, 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 and they go into working with retailers, but they really don't understand what the retailers need. Or it's, influencer, 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 but they really don't understand the tech side. It feels like you've got the tech, the payment piece, and you really intimately understand this particular customer in direct selling, which is unique.
Yeah, I think we were fortunate to have kind of that flagship first customer who really, helped define the needs and define the functionality and the user experience and the user interface. It really they really helped mold a product that was really, I go kind of fit like a glove type of thing. A product that we call it built, for direct sales, by direct sales type of thing. So, we really took that and leveraged it to maximum visibility, and also had, a good first client to ultimately test drive it and work out the kinks and really get it into a mode where, it becomes more and more relevant. We actually just attended the DSA, Direct Sales Association, shows in Canada and the United States, and the product was very, very well received. I think we won like Innovative Product of the Year or something along those lines, just
Right.
by virtue of bringing a lot of technology that's really state of the art to an industry that's really kind of hungry for it. So I'd say in that regard, we think we're in a good place.
And the one-to-one is really interesting because it also that just lends itself so much to luxury brands, even because there are higher MLM brands that sell higher end products as well. But even just luxury, it's that one-to-one sales. But how many times do you go into the Gucci store? Like, you're not going in the store. You're calling your rep, the person who has your details, and you're having this real one-to-one conversation with them, no matter where you are in the world. You could be anywhere and still be in touch with the person who takes care of you and buys products for you and shows you what's new, what's happening. So I see in the luxury piece, that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, no, it certainly is, and it offers, this continuous communication and this continuous contact. And some of the companies we spoke to were looking to possibly empower their customer service desks with a product like that, so they can turn their customer service agents into salespeople and commission them if they are successful in converting a call into a sale through that product, through the video connection,
Yeah.
through the catalog, and through the shopping cart. That's all kind of connected. I think the value in all the products is that the ability to shop is built into the experience. So it's not redirecting someone to a third-party
Right.
website where they got to navigate their way through and find a way to buy a product. It's all kind of right there, all encapsulated within the environment, which I think people and companies truly appreciate.
We've seen us, everybody talks about China, right? Different
Yeah.
marketplace. India is, growing obviously well, different marketplace, different consumer base, and obviously a much less fragmented media landscape, right? You have three different channels you're on, it's controlled, where here it's, you know, people are everywhere, and it's a very, very, scattered consumer mind. Like, what do you think is missing to kind of create those types of conversions and activation? Is it just time? Is it training the
Um,
consumer?
yeah, well, look, I guess time will tell ultimately if it's time. It's hard to say. Um, the I guess the skyrocketing popularity of streaming and video streaming and the influencer world is it's kind of unparalleled. The fact that there's just so much great success in that part of the world is really, it's motivating. But at the same point in time, I'd say that, if you look at what's going on in the influencer world, that there are football fields of individuals that are being taught how to be influencers. There's that whole modality of the reality that I guess consumers are very much oriented to buy their products that way. And I
Yeah.
think there's a tight connection with a lot of the major influencers, with Taobao, which is
Yeah.
the kind of the Amazon-like product. And I think that brings a lot of I guess a lot of consumers to the table. I think that the economics are different and maybe a bit more affordable for the influencers out in China, but there certainly is this readiness and willingness and desire for consumers to I guess to shop online that way. I don't think we've seen that level of popularity in North America, although more and more, I'd say, companies and brands are looking towards these type of products and services to ultimately help proliferate. So it becomes part of an overall marketing strategy. I think retailers are now leveraging, influencers to carry their products and pay a bit of a commission and try and entice their followers to ultimately um, buy products that they're pitching, and they're earning a commission. And I'd say, even customer big brands have talked to us about, how do we turn our major customers into salespeople? Like they
Right.
love our product.
Yeah.
They're online all the time. Like how do we empower them to maybe leverage their social network and contacts to sell some of the products that they love so much, and sending a shoppable video that tags them or stuff like that. They're great tools ultimately to build this massive affiliate type network and
Yeah.
really build value. So I'm not sure we're going to get to the levels that China's got. There's someone in China that they refer to as the lipstick king that
Yeah.
sold in, I don't know what it was, 6 hours or so, which is kind of hard to imagine someone spending 6 hours trying on 400 shades of lipstick. Here's
Right.
ruby red and here's blueberry blue, and, for
Right.
hours. But I think he sold somewhere between $2 and $4 billion in
Yeah.
that session. So it's just a testament to how popular that influencer is, for one, that he's followed so
Right.
religiously, and then how ready that community is to buy product online. I don't think we're there yet. I think ultimately for us, the focus on MLM and direct sales is really opportunistic, and we're talking about an industry that can use these tools and leverage them. We're still working with the influencer community and happy to engage both influencers and brands who feel that they want to engage with a product like this. So I think it'll grow quickly. Whether it'll reach the heights of China, time will tell, but they have a huge head start. They're way ahead of us.
And
Yeah.
a different market and a different consumer. And, like, again, there's no, the fragmentation we have of media here is quite extreme compared to China, which is more state controlled, and, there's 3 or 4 platforms to be on. That leads me to the next question. Beyond kind of like the direct marketing, industry, like, what do you see as a great opportunity in 2024? There's a lot of talk about consolidation of platforms. There's probably 30 platforms now. A couple comments sold, just bought a company a couple weeks ago. There's a little consolidation happening, but what do you foresee as like a great opportunity in 2024?
Yeah, well, I think like any new industry, there's winners and losers, and they're eventually there is some level of consolidation where some companies may not have the wherewithal or the ability to maintain the liquidity and raise the funds needed to kind of compete in what is becoming a very competitive marketplace.
Yeah.
So, I think companies are probably starting to have discussions about how to leverage technology that's out there, and size matters ultimately. I think that's just the reality of the marketplace. I think a lot of companies ramped up quickly, assuming that maybe North America would follow the Chinese story fast, and maybe haven't had that level of success at this point. So there certainly is, I guess, a need to kind of consolidate, build technology, build solutions that are providing the right level of functionality and benefits to the brands and to I guess the influencers in general. But I do think that a lot of the companies that are out there are probably either not going to make it, so to speak, or consolidate and become part of a bigger group that's doing some interesting things. So again, it's early days and it's moving in the right direction, but things take time, and it's a matter of educating too, right? It's a new medium. People need to understand how to leverage it. Running a 20 or 30 minute show takes a little bit of coordination.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as a shoppable video, which you can
Yeah.
do in a minute,
Yeah.
and doesn't really require that much coordination. You just talking and filming on your iPhone, and then proliferating it and just keeping that modality going. But I guess time will tell, who the winners and losers are and who evolves. I do think that it'll be a smaller group and maybe kind of a bigger group that absorbs some of the smaller players.
Yeah. I definitely, and there could be some great acquisitions for everybody kind of in the marketplace. I don't, all the people I've been talking to, I would say 90% of them are really all about, yes, we're competitors, but we want to grow the market.
Yeah.
we want to grow the market. Yes, we compete head to head, and that's actually okay. And what's good for one client, maybe not great for us. They may not be a great fit for us, but they're great. They're really they're very interested in any way growing the marketplace, because they all truly are believers in it and want it to grow bigger, no matter what happens, right? They all want to win, but I've talked to the biggest of the big, and they kind of have the same philosophy as, all high tide rises all boats, which is
Yeah,
nice.
look, yeah, listen, I think the reality is that this is a medium and a tool that companies are going to adopt over time. It's happening. It's just a matter of the velocity and the economics of what it costs to utilize
Yeah.
some of these products. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time this morning. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk
Thank
soon.
you. Thanks so much, Cynthia. All the best. Thank you.